Come on back in the room, everybody. Come on back in the room, everybody. They kicked us out. It got too spicy. They kicked us out. Come on back in the room. Come on back in the room. Let me get my Sistar back in here. Okay, there you go.
Okay, Instagram.
It got too hot, sis. Come on back in the room, everybody. It got too hot. They was like, oh no, they got to go. But good thing we saved the video. All is well. All is well. You got to be quicker than that, Instagram. You got to be quicker than that. Okay, right. Come on back. Come on back in the room, everybody. They kicked us off. They kicked us off, but everybody come on back in the room. We're going to give a few minutes for everybody to hop back in. We had a really good crowd. So come on back in the room, everybody. Where did we leave off? That spirit is basically breaking and is allowing Babylon to fall, okay? So Babylon is falling. The next aspect of Babylon was the scripture that they gave us when I was looking up the definitions of these and the metaphysical symbolism. The scripture that they took me to next was Daniel 3:1. And there's 3 words that I want to break down in the scripture, okay? Daniel 3:1 says that the king made an image of gold. And I think, Shasha, this one should really appeal to you because you've been going in this morning about gold.
Yeah.
And so Daniel 3 says that the king made an image of gold. Let's look at king. King breaks down into righteous, the executive faculty, and every man whose life is guided, governed, and directed by spirit. Okay, that's very. The king is you being in the understanding that that spirit is guiding you. Okay, that spirit is taking care of you. That spirit is leading and directing and governing every action that you take and every decision and every experience that you encounter. Okay, so the king made an image of gold. Okay. Image breaks down into a mental representation of anything not actually present to the senses. Everything that is manifested was first a mental picture and was brought into the expression by the forming power. And I'm going to bring this all together, okay?
I'm going to bring it together too, because dang, okay. I just got to download. Go ahead.
Okay. So image is everything that is manifested was first a mental picture and was brought into expression by the forming power of the imagination, meaning that the picture can't even become animated until you give it spirit.
Yeah, so you give it reverence.
Yes. And then the last word is gold. Gold breaks down into, get this shot, spiritual gifts. Gold translates into spiritual gifts. This is the riches of spirit. The gold that the wise men brought to the Christ child was a consciousness of the omnipresent richness of substance. Okay? And so we've essentially made an image, a false image, of our spiritual gifts. And we're operating in them as if our spiritual gifts are supposed to bring you material riches.
And not only that, this image is also created through cryptocurrency.
Come on. You got the floor, sis.
That imprint is digital currency. And as I was speaking about this morning on my page, I was saying how spirit was showing me how IT is being targeted for their gold, aka their spiritual gifts. Mm-hmm. Okay, and so crypto miners, because what is mining? So let's look at what mining is, because they're talking about these people are mining cryptocurrency, but you can also mine gold and minerals and oil. You mining the resources of the earth.
Come on.
So now with crypto mining, they are mining the technological and digital imprints of the universe, which are then in turn, through their mind, their consciousness, they are now creating coins that are going to fund the world that they are creating through their minds, that they want you to live in and enslave you for eternity through your consciousness.
And you know what? And you know what it is? It's the substance. They're creating a new substance.
A new substance.
Okay, when we
That's
look
going
at
to make them rich through the transmutation of energy.
Yes.
With you transmuting your fiat into digital coin, digital air, which is AKA the ethers, the universe. You are literally dialing into someone's ethernet, to someone's universe.
Come on.
Dial in through what? Through upload, or excuse me, through uphold, or through Bit.2, or through Bitcoin, or through Ethereum, or through Dogecoin. All of these coins are literally universes that are being set up in the ethers for you to dial into and to be enslaved by. Because what? Because the money. It's nothing but a facade. It's nothing but a deceit.
It's a new image.
And that's in Matthew 24, and I do want to get to that, because 24 says, do not be deceived. And some of us have been.
Listen, they're creating a new substance with the image that's being given to you, that you're taking and materializing. All they had to do was give you the picture. All they had to do was to give you the picture, because they understand where the substance resides. Like where the money resides, where the substance resides. Where the substance resides, where the substance resides, where the substance resides. Okay? And when we look at substance breaks down to the divine idea of the underlying reality of all things. We no longer have the true understanding of the true substance, of the original substance that is underlining everything that we do, everything that we touch, everything that we believe, everything that we create, everything that we conjure, everything that we manifest, everything that we tear down to build again. What substance is underlining everything that you do? What substance are you feeding this new image that is manifesting before you? It said that the king made an image of the gold. And that is essentially what we're doing.
And they made pictures of these coins and put them in your face. And the coins are gold, sis. The coins are gold. They made pictures of crypto, and it's not even a physical coin. It's actually, no, I'm lying. Some of them are actually sending physical coins. Like, I think you can get like physical Ethereum coins. So they're also making it seem like you're getting something tangible, but the shit is not even real fucking gold to begin with.
Because where's the real gold? It is the spiritual giftings. It is your spiritual gift, and not for you to profit off, to turn that into an image. It's not for you to turn your spiritual giftings into an image. Okay? It's for you to use your spiritual giftings to transmute and to transform this vessel. Okay? To transform the Babylon state of unconsciousness. Does that make sense? And we do all of this, and what they're currently doing, Shasha, right, is they're creating a new form of currency.
Yes.
Right? And the currency brings what? Prosperity. Abundance. Well, let's look at prosperity. Ooh. Prosperity is the definite, or prosperity defines as the consciousness of God as the abundant. That means that I'm already abundant when I come into the understanding that I'm God. I wake up every day abundant. Every day that there's life in my body, I am abundant. Not when $50 hit my account. Not if I hit the lottery for $3 million. I am prosperous. Because the God that I am prosperous. I'm sitting here in front of prosperity. I am speaking to prosperity. I am building with prosperity. Every time I am in the presence of another God body, we are exchanging currency. We are building prosperity
with each other.
We are fortifying prosperity because prosperity is the consciousness of God. Ever present resource is everywhere. Is an everywhere present resource. It's unfailing. Fiat gonna fail. Fiat has already failed.
Yeah.
Fiat was never real to begin with.
No.
And neither is Bitcoin.
No.
And I know that the conscious Black community, so-called Black community, want y'all to believe that Bitcoin is the way to salvation, and it's not.
Based on the downloads I got today about crypto, it's actually blocking our salvation.
It's going to fail you. And I'm going to tell you how it's going to fail you. Because when Mother sends this planet dark, there's not going to be any technology to plug into. There's no technology that is going to be able to fuel your mining. So you have to change what you're mining for. What riches are you mining for that are everywhere? What riches are you mining for that are ever present? What riches are you mining for that are unfailing? Prosperity says that it is ready for all who open themselves up to it. Are you opening yourself up to the God substance that is within you? Spirit told us when this Lion Gate portal first started and we went out into ritual, Spirit made it very clear that the way that we would receive prosperity in this cycle, in this new cycle, was not going to be through fiat. It's not going to be through crypto. It's not going to be through any tangible form of currency. It's going to be through energetic exchange with the universe. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? Do you hear what I'm saying? The only way that you're going to survive this reset
is by preparing your sanctuary.
That's it. And Spirit said that you don't have to worry. You don't have to fret because prosperity is the consciousness of God. Ever-present resource. That means you ain't running out of it. The same way Haiti is not running out of gold. Mother just going to cut off the supply.
Yes.
Nobody going to be able to have access to it. Until the unclean is removed off of this planet. Until the beings come back into harmony with nature. Not to deplete it. But to watch over it. Go ahead, baby.
I was going to say until we reseal our covenant, which we broke to begin with.
Come on.
The Bible says that we were not supposed to eat of any animal that walks with two legs on this earth.
Come on.
You were not to destroy.
Come on.
Altar, which is the earth.
Not even through sacrifice. Not even through your ritualistic sacrifices.
And what they are doing constantly right now is creating earthquakes.
Come on, Sistar.
Increase the amount of gold and minerals that are in fault lines in a lot of these countries that y'all think are cursed. A lot of these places that you think are cursed. This is nothing but an operation to basically bleed the earth dry.
You teaching.
Of its spiritual gifts.
You teaching.
The spiritual gifts come from the earth.
They are the
earth.
Come on, Shasha.
But yet they are mining your spiritual gifts from the earth.
You don't own the trees. You can't even sleep in the park if the authorities come and tell you that you gotta go.
You don't
own your resources.
Yes. You got homeless people that can't even sleep on the side of the road because it doesn't look appealing to the neighborhood.
Come on.
And I saw this because I lived in Vegas. So I know, because I watched them move them homeless people every day. from the same place. But yet these are trees, these are parks, this is dirt. This is our land. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to New York Island. But you're telling me I can't be here or I'm gonna be arrested?
You teaching good. You teaching good.
It's a lot that we have to really look at. Oh, this, that, and third. No, Haiti is being targeted for their spiritual gifts.
Come on. For the resources.
For the spiritual resources. Every time they make an earthquake in IT, specifically in the northern region of this country, those particular veins expand by 130,000 times its size, which means that the gold becomes bigger. Why? Because these motherfuckers are greedy.
Ooh, you teaching shop.
So the mother said, "Oh, I'll give you a little bit of gold." No, we want more.
You teaching.
So guess what, mother going? What does mother do when all the kids are being greedy and nobody wants to share? She snatches it away from everybody.
Teaching.
And says, "Now you go and y'all figure this shit out together."
You teaching.
And you act like you my children.
You teaching. So we made an image of gold and called it prosperity. And we called it abundance. We took our spiritual gifts, our spiritual resources, the trees. Most of us don't even know that they removed a lot of the mothering trees off this planet because they were too messy. But they bear fruit.
Right.
So when these powers that think they be come to control your food resources, you would have never had to worry because nature already set up provision, right? But because we profited, because we prostituted our spiritual gifts and called it prosperity and abundance, Mother is removing it. Prosperity is based on the conscious possession of the idea of God's abundance backed by all things. What is abundance? Abundance is spiritual ideas and consciousness of the omnipresent supply and the support of the mind. Okay? An invisible substance. This is your support. So your abundance is just a support that we receive from the universe. The abundance is the trees growing. The abundance is the insects coming and coming in to pollinate the trees. The abundance is the sun coming in to support you in the genocide that's taking place on this planet. Okay? That is the abundance. Okay? And the prosperity is, what did we say? Is the consciousness of God as the abundant. Being able to understand where the prosperity really lies. And it's not in getting $50 for a 3-second card pull. Okay? Spiritual things are not sitting down and spending $1,500 to talk to a motherfucker for 20 minutes. Okay? Prosperity is not charging $3,000 for astrological counseling. You are prostituting the spiritual resources. So while you got people fixated on when my nigga is gonna come back and when my bitch gonna stop acting up, the universe is sending you the alarms of code red that time is up, that the self-destruct button has been pressed.
Oh,
that Babylon is falling. Does that make sense?
And that's why that sun has been red like that.
Come on.
It is the reset button.
Come on. Okay? We talked about
the sun is the source of this technology. The technology, the motherboard being the earth. And so when that sun turned red like that, if y'all ever seen a reset button is red.
Come on.
Any reset button that you've ever come across, you know, like in the movies, they'd be like, don't hit the red button. It's going to self-destruct.
Come on.
That is, these motherfuckers have been telling us for years
Come on.
that the self-destruct button is red to look for. And we never even thought to think, oh, the sun. The sun was red, y'all. The sun looked like a red dot in the sky.
Come on.
It doesn't get any more fucking realer than that. And not only did it happen last year because I got videos of it, it happened again this year.
I do too.
And they talking about it's Nibiru. No, bitch, that's the sun.
Come on.
That's the reset button. And mother has pushed the reset button. And this bitch is self-destructing. And self-destruction doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, especially when we have built so many layers and layers. Think about, like, if you go and get your nails done and you got layers of nail polish, how long does it take them to scrape that shit off?
You teaching, sis.
It's not going to happen overnight. So you are watching Babylon fall because the reset button has been pushed.
Ooh.
And the abundance and the prosperity is going away because we abused it.
And I'm going to validate you when you're done. Go ahead. Keep going. Keep going.
No, you're fine. We've abused it and we've used it. And we thought that prosperity and abundance was outside of us.
Come on.
When it's in your backyard.
Come on.
It's at the beach.
Come on.
It's in the redlands. It's at the mountains. Okay? It is the downloads that you receive from the universe. But yet you're calling upon Ganesh or, I don't know, whoever other prosperous deity to bring you money. And then you're sitting on your bed wondering why you ain't, why no money is coming to you. And mother is sitting here like, what do you mean? I gave you what you wanted. I gave you prosperity. I gave you abundance. And you're not fucking happy? Okay, fine. Mother is ruthless, y'all.
Y'all don't understand. Mother is in the
Do
position.
not go out here and test the mother. What did Deuteronomy 16 say?
Come on.
Do not test me as you did at Massa. Don't test me as you did with your government.
Ooh.
Telling Babylon that this is not enough.
Come on.
My nigga, I gave you the whole world.
Come on.
As your altar.
And you prostituted it.
You prostituted it. You stripped it. You created fake earthquakes and fake storms. You cut down all the trees and grew baby trees.
Ooh,
what's that movie, The Lorax? The Dr. Seuss book, The Lorax, when they cut down all the trees. Do y'all remember how that movie ended when they did the movie of it? How the earth was desolate. It was barren. It was nothing left. And so mother said, okay, since y'all want to be greedy, y'all ain't gonna have shit.
You teaching.
And y'all gonna have to figure it out.
You teaching. You teaching.
Mother, you ever had a baby that the baby got the pacifier taken away? You know when you're trying to wean your baby off of a pacifier? We've been pacified way too long. We've cried and they stuck the pacifier in our mouths. Every single time. I don't know how much more clearer, how many more words we have to say. But this shit is over. This shit is over.
Mother is in the position of being like Kylie. And mother mother want heads.
We want heads.
All for the last few days, I have been in the energy of Kylie. I want heads like Kylie. And because we prostituted our spiritual gifts, as Shah was just explaining, this is the message of mother. And what I love about this, I'm going to go from verse 9 still. We're still in Revelations chapter 18. We're now looking at verse 9. What I love about the title as this verse begins is it says the threefold woe over Babylon's fall. That says that if you want to know who this fall is coming from, it's not coming from your government. It's coming from the original Trinity.
Woo!
The mother, the maiden, and the crone.
And the crone.
The mother, the daughter, and time. And
Time.
the mother is alluding to the daughter that time is up. And she's saying, fuck you niggas. As she cleanses her hands. Because y'all didn't get the lesson. And nobody's heeding the warning. And so, this is the message. Because you prostituted your spiritual resources, when the kings of the earth who committed adultery with her and shared her luxuries see the smoke of her burning, they will weep and mourn over her, terrified at her torment. They will stand far off and cry, woe, woe to you, great city, you mighty city of Babylon. In 1 hour, doom has come.
Doomsday clock.
The merchants of the earth will weep and mourn over her because no one buys their cargo anymore. Cargoes of gold.
Oh, can we stop right there? Because
ahead,
that's manifesting with the whole boat situation on these piers and in these ports where these boats have been sitting for months with your food and your resources on them.
Come on.
Mother already told us she's shutting the borders down, baby. Ain't shit coming in and ain't shit going out, including y'all motherfuckers. Unless you got what? That.
Come on. Come on.
That's all I had to say.
No, that was perfect, because we also need to see how these are playing out so that we can identify this. This ain't just no good conversation that we're having today. This is not just I think this will be a great topic to delve into today. This is a warning of not things to come, of things happening right now. Okay? Cargoes of gold, silver, precious stones, and pearls, fine linen, purple silk, scarlet cloth, every sort of citron wood, articles of every kind made of ivory, costly wood, bronze, iron, and marble, cargoes of cinnamon and spice, of incense, of myrrh, of frankincense, of wine, and olive oil, of fine flour, and of wheat, of cattle and of sheep, of horse and carriages. Human beings sold as slaves.
Woo,
they will
that
say,
one.
They will say, the fruit you longed for is gone. All of your luxury and splendor have vanished, never to be recovered. The merchants who sold these things and gained their wealth from her will stand far off, terrified at her torment. Get ready, government. Get ready. Every leader of every culture, get ready for your judgment day. You couldn't outrun it. You couldn't cover the sun. You couldn't stop the radiation. You can generate fake storms, but get ready. To the Black community, to the conscious Black community, to the preachers, to the Black preachers, to the pulpit, to every layman, to every merchant, get ready. This is judgment.
Woo!
None of you will recover from this. Listen to what I'm saying. None of you will recover from every spiritual gift that you have prostituted. Spirit says, figure out who you are and how you'll trade when money goes away. Do you have something to offer? Of substance? Do you have something to offer? that is in harmony with nature, that you don't have to kill, that you don't have to harm? Are you really ready to build the bridge between you and your community, and not for profit? And now that you won't profit, will the things that you spiritually bring to the table be taken away? Because you won't make money off of it anymore. That's not a threat. That is a promise. How will you barter and exchange prosperity and abundance with your community? Okay? So the merchants who sold these things and gained their wealth from her stand far off, terrified at her torment. They will weep and mourn and cry out, "Woe, woe to you, great city, dressed in fine linen, and purple and scarlet, and glittering with gold, precious stones and pearls. In 1 hour, such great wealth has been brought to ruins. Every sea captain, all who travel by ship, the sailors, and all that earn their living from the sea will stand far off when they see the smoke of Babylon burning. They will exclaim, was there ever a city as great as this city? It's going to be wiped off so quickly that just thinking about it, you're going to have to process in your mind if it ever really existed. And the answer is no.
No.
It never existed. It never existed. The illusion of it existed. The smoke and mirrors of it existed. The ritual existed. But did the programming exist? No. It never existed. They will throw dust on their heads with weeping and mourning and cry out, "Woe, woe, great city, where all who had ships on the sea became rich through her wealth. In 1 hour has she been brought to ruins. Rejoice over her, ye heavens. Rejoice, you good people of God. Rejoice, apostles and prophets, for God has judged her with the judgment she imposed upon you." Mother is about to make these people her bitch. I don't know how else to say it. I don't know how else to say it.
You will pay what you weigh.
You won't pay for sure what you weigh. And in paying it, there is a silencing of the music. There is a silencing of the sound of ritual, of the sound of the programming, of the frequency of the programming. When we get to verse 21, and it's titled "The Finale of Babylon's Doom." Bitch, we at the end, y'all.
We at the end.
Curtains is closing, and Mother is asking, which side of the curtain you standing on? You gonna stand in the darkness or you gonna stand in the light? Remember, the light comes out of the darkness. From the darkness you birth, to the darkness you return. Okay? Then a mighty angel picked up a boulder the size of a large millstone, and they threw it into the sea and said, "With such violence, the great city of Babylon will be thrown down, never to be found again. The music of the harpists and the musicians and the pipers and the trumpeters, like R. Kelly or Jay-Z or Kanye or Nicki Minaj, Megan Thee Stallion, Donnie McClurkin, Yolanda Adams, Kirk Carl.
Those two.
Your words,
gospel singers too.
Your wordsmiths, Polite, Sanetta, Nature Boy, Young Pharaoh. Any of them. It says that the music of the harpist and the musicians and the pipers and the trumpeters will never be heard in you again. No worker of any trade will ever be found in you again. The sound of the millstone will never be hurting you again. The light of a lamp will never shine in you again. The voice of the bridegroom and the bride will never be heard in you again. Your merchants were the world's important people. All of your important people that are in your face. All of your idols. Okay? All of these people that you worship. All of these people that you vote for every single day. All of these people that you spend your currency on. Your merchants were the world's most important people. By your magic spell, all the nations were led astray. And in her were found the blood of the prophets and of God's holy people and of all those who had been slaughtered on the earth. And when you are slaughtered, Mother is going to open up the skies, and every foul beast, every bird, every animal that you slaughtered in ritual, Mother is going to then open up the planet for you to become the ritual. Those who live by the sword will die by the sword. And the message that I come to bring to you, the sword is falling. Get out of the fucking way. Get out of the way. Or die with it. Find a way to integrate your own forms of systems of operating. If your family is not on board, that is your first message that Spirit is telling you to fall away. You're not saving nobody else. The messengers have been sent out. It's not a matter of nobody speaking the word. You don't like the messengers. The messengers don't have 50,000 and 100 comments under their page saying, go ahead, y'all. Go ahead, y'all. You saying a sure word. The messengers don't have 72,000 followers or 3.6 thousand followers. So you think that the world is okay. You think that the world is a safe place. You think that the world is still standing. And the messengers of God is coming forth saying, if man have an ear, let him hear what Spirit is saying to the churches. If man have an ear, let him hear what Spirit is saying to the churches. If man have an ear, let him hear what Spirit is saying to the churches. If man have an ear, let him hear what Spirit is saying to the churches. If man have an ear, let him hear what Spirit is saying to the churches. If man have an ear, let him hear what Spirit is saying to the churches. And what is Spirit saying to the churches? To get your faculties, your spiritual faculties in order. Okay? What are the spiritual faculties? There are 12 of them, really quickly. The 12 faculties of the mind and man is symbolized by the 12 disciples of Jesus, along with where they are located on the body, is your faith. Okay, this is Peter. And you can find Peter at the center of the head, the pineal gland. What is your faith looking at? I'm not talking about your faith in Jesus. I'm not talking about your faith in Yemoshai. I'm not talking about your faith in Oshun. I'm not talking about your faith in Ogun or Shango or any of the other deities, Santa Morte. None of them. What is the faith that is rising up within this pineal gland telling you? So how is your faith? The next spiritual faculty is your strength. You can find your strength, also known as Andrew, at the small of your back. Okay, if any of you, I know we're really smart in this room, so we should already know that I'm talking about what? The chakra points. The chakra points that we've made so common that they mean nothing but colors. Okay, so your strength is found at the small of your back. Is your back strong? Is your back supporting you? Is your back holding up your faith? Okay. Next, we have judgment, which is also known as James. James or judgment can be found in the lower part of the solar plexus. Is that not communication, Shasha? The solar plexus? Okay.
And your soul, the
Your
first
soul.
seed of your soul.
Yes. So it's the seat of the soul. Okay. So the solar plexus is the vital energy of the organism through which the subconscious mind connects the physical body. The solar plexus is a large nerve center lying back at the pit of the stomach, and it controls the activity of the stomach. So how is your digestion? How are you with ridding yourself of what doesn't belong? How are you with letting go of people and places and things that spirit is telling you to digest and to pass? And a bowel movement. Okay? So judgment is the solar plexus. Then we have love. This is also known as John. Love can be found at the back of the heart, also known as the cardiac center. Then we have your power. Your power is also known as Philip. This is the root of the tongue. What are you speaking? What are you saying? What are you communicating? What are you receiving? Okay? This is your power. The power you have, those of us who grew up in church, we were drilled with the power of life and death resides in the tongue. And yet we wake up every single day spewing foolishness, spewing Babylon, which is what? Confusion in the mind, confusion in the senses, confusion in the emotions. Okay? So deal with your power, which is the tongue, the root of the tongue. Then we have the imagination, also known as Bartholomew. This is found between the eyes. Okay? Then we have understanding, which is also known as Thomas, which is the front of the brain. Then we have your will, which is Matthew, also known as Matthew. And your will can be found at the center front of the brain. Okay? Then we have order, which is also known as James. This is the navel. Okay? Then we have your zeal, which is also known as Simon the Canaanite. Where do you find your zeal? At the lower back of the head, the medulla. Okay? Then the next we have elimination or renunciation, also known as Thaddeus. This can be found at the lower part of the back. And then the last one is appropriation or life, also known as conservation, also known as Judas. This is your regenerative function. How are you betraying yourself every time you regenerate into your experience? Are you betraying yourself by having to come back into this experience to continue to elevate your consciousness, or are you going to get it this time around? Or do you need to kiss Judas one more time? Or are you ready to just exist in the highest aspects of your consciousness? Okay? These are the spiritual faculties of the mind. This is what we're getting in order: your faith, your strength, your judgment, your love, your power, your imagination, your understanding, your will, your order, your zeal, your elimination, and your appropriation. Figuring out if you need it this time around, or if you can finally be done with this existence and regenerate somewhere else. My phone is dying. And so I think that spirit is saying that we can close here. Is there anything else that you want to say, Shasha, before we close? Because we pretty much went through the whole scripture.
Yeah, we did. I mean, that's really it. I will also say for you all to look into Matthew chapter 24, the entire chapter of Matthew chapter 24. There are 51 verses, which I think is, crazy because 24 is 6 and 51 is 6. So I think that that's also very relevant. But it also goes into, for Matthew 24, it goes more into the signs that are in the skies. As to what is currently happening right now. Also speaks about the earthquakes and that they are birth pains, which we kind of also touched on as well. And it does also talk about the people being slaughtered as well. Another Bible verse I would say for people to look at is Deuteronomy 6:16, which speaks about us not testing mother or testing the Lord,
Yeah.
but instead we want to put Lordess there. Anytime you see Lord or God, you want to put Lordess or Goddess instead, because we're really talking about the divine womb. Also Numbers 32:13, okay, as well. And that's pretty much all that I have. Is that's pretty much all I got. So yeah.
And one last thing, I know we talked a lot about Babylon falling, but I wanted to just say really quickly the way in which Babylon is falling, and it is through the slaying of Jezebel, through the undoing of our desires and of our passions, just being in a state of material, okay, and creating materially and not focusing at all on the spiritual faculties of the self, or the spiritual work that Spirit is trying to get us to do. And so we'll come back during another art of ritual, and we'll really begin to break down that Jezebel understanding as it came up in relation to Polite's victim, or Petty Light's victim. She was called a Jezebel. And so I thought it was really powerful because it sends a message home as well to the collective, of letting people know that the divine feminine is not going to be touched, that she's untouchable, and that she's without husband, and that she's a virgin. And so Mother is really sending the children in to undo what we know as adults. They're undoing them. And anything that's connected or capping Isis, women like Isis, the realest to ever do it, women that's exactly like her thinking, okay? Women like her who need proof in order to listen to the divine feminine over the word of the divine masculine, especially as it relates.
Questioning whether or not she has the right intentions.
Yes, she's going to fall with him. And anybody capping or set, another one, Rashad, Jamil, or Jamal, any of you that are out here going against the work that the Mother is doing within the divine masculine, you are going to fall with them.
And now you fall, you will have a special place of judgment.
Special place.
Because the Bible says that they will be judged later, meaning, oh, I got something for your ass. So because you're the ones who spoke my name.
Come on.
In the same sentence.
Come on.
You justified a man.
Yes.
Abusing.
Yes.
My purest.
Yes.
My
vessels.
Trinity, which the daughter is the Trinity. The daughter is a part of the Trinity.
Come on.
Your daughters are a part of the sacred Trinity that we are speaking of today.
Yes.
Don't take yourself out of this.
And when you want to look at spiritual prostituting of the gifts, we must look at the conscious community. And it's time out for us not calling a thing and just glossing over it because we're making money off of the conscious community. Mother is finishing y'all in this season. And all of the giftings that y'all prostituted off, she's closing them. These are people who have been spiritually prostituting this universe, taking more from the beings than they were actually giving.
Yes.
Knowledge is not abundance. Money, fake fiat, Bitcoin is not abundance and prosperity, and it's not going to save your soul. There's no spiritual cleansing out here that's going to save your soul. There's no spiritual teacher or worker. I don't care how many Ephi deities they have on top of their head. They are spiritually prostituting even these deities. The same way we have spiritually prostituted Jesus. And now he's in the position, Spirit is in the position, the Divine Mother is in the position of flipping every fucking table. Every fucking table. And may judgment fall upon your heads. May the divine mother begin to deal with you accordingly to your works,
And let
to
me
your
say this.
actions.
There is no fixing this. There is no,
I don't think y'all understand.
let's figure this out and there's enough. No, it's over. There is no
Done.
fixing. There is no begging mother for her mercy. We've already gotten mercy. We've already gotten salvation. We've already gotten everything that we were supposed to get. Time is up. There is no, oh, let's repair the Black community. Let's come together and kumbaya. There is no more. It's over. So I don't want y'all to sit up here and think that you're going to try and save these people one Reiki session at a time, one tarot session at a time. These motherfuckers don't give a fuck about nothing but their frivolous little lives that were given to them by the system.
Come on, one.
It is over.
It's done.
There is no saving nothing.
It's done.
It is done. So I don't want y'all to go through this life thinking, oh, well, things would just be fixed if we would just kumbaya. Get out of your fucking fantasies, y'all. Get out of your fantasies.
It's done.
It is over. This is done. It's just a matter of time. We're just waiting for the hour to come.
That's it. No man knows the day nor the hour.
Waiting for the hour to come.
Come on. And the hour is here.
The hour is here.
That's why Spirit took one of your greats. Because that's how y'all view Polite, right? As one of your greats. That's how y'all view Isis, right? As the waymaker. And I'm saying Isis' name because as in the position of the Divine Mother, I'm coming for her head. And I want you to know that all of your faiths, all of your spiritual faiths, Mother is coming for the head. I'm like Kali. She wants heads like Kali. She's going to drain this planet like Sekhmet. And there is no wine to rock her and lull her back to sleep.
The wine is dried up.
There's no wine for you to drink.
Half of the grapes are GMO anyway.
Period. There's no wine for you to drink. The Divine Mother is saying we all going to be sober through this. You're going to watch every bit of it fall. You're going to fall away from everything that you think you had connection to, or you're going to fall with it. And that's it. And so this is a warning to every being on this planet. This is a warning to every one of your favorite spiritual teachers. I want heads like Kali. I want blood like Sekhmet. Fall in line. Mother's judgment is upon this planet. And y'all have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful night. And if you know somebody who could use this art of ritual tonight, who could use this reckoning with themselves, I encourage you guys to send it to a friend or to a family member that you know could really use the shaking up. Hell, and if you want to, somebody send it to Isis and Polite on behalf of me. Okay? And I want to thank my sister for joining me today here at the sanctuary via my personal page. And we're going to come back again, guys, and really begin to break down this Jezebel spirit when we can find time. But I really hope that you guys have a beautiful, beautiful night. And I thank you guys for being with us for this week's episode of Art of Ritual titled Cold Red Revelations. Peace, everybody.